everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm MissPetiteRu, and this week for Halloween, I'm going to talk to you about my favorite anime of all time. It's Sailor Moon. I'm actually one of the characters. I'm Hotaru, who's Sailor Saturn. This is why I have a bang cut this week. And did you know that Sailor Moon is a petite 5 and under as well? She's 4'11", and I'm gonna tell you by the end of this video why I love Sailor Moon so much and why it still holds up to today, and it's such a good show and she's such a good role model for so many. For the best place for petites 5 foot and under, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button to be notified when I post a video every Wednesday. So I've watched Sailor Moon since I was, I think, 4 years old, and I was really fascinated when I found out Sailor Moon was actually 4'11". At 14 years old, up until she was 16, she was still 4'11". She was the shortest amongst all the scouts other than Sailor Saturn and Chibi Moon, who's actually a lot younger. And I love her so much because she's so accepting of like so many different people, from Mercury, who is like a nerd, from Jupiter, who was like a tomboy, and so many people that were so different and no one would accept them. And even to her enemies, and later I'm going to talk about how she's accepting of LGBT community as well. And she's such an amazing role model, and this series is just really good, and I would really recommend watching it in Japanese, or I also watched it in Cantonese growing up, but yeah, it's the filter for the States when I was younger was pretty bad and not representing the right representation of people that were in this series. So I'll talk to you about that a little bit more, but next part I really want to talk about is actually my character, Sailor Saturn, and why she's one of my favorites. So Hotaru was actually possessed by two characters in her body. One was Sailor Saturn, who was the Sailor Scout of Destruction and Reconstruction, and her power is really powerful and it is very destructive. If she uses her power, it would like not only destroy her but destroy the whole universe. That was really why all the Sailor Scouts were really scared of her as well. And then on top of it, she also had an evil being inside of her as well, which was Mistress 9. And so ever since she was a little kid, she was possessed by these two spirits in her, and she would have seizures and no one would understand her. And it wasn't until Chubiyusa, Rini in English, came into her life that she opened up and she was able to have a true friend in her life. So this character in my heart is very powerful and very beautiful, and this is why I did a bang cut for like a younger generation, but I love her so much. And another reason why this series is so amazing. Some of the other characters I love is Sailor Mars, and actually she's my favorite. She's Ray, she's fiery and powerful. And this series is so beautiful. It showcases a lot of women empowerment and like just friendship and so much more. And all these scouts are just so different and so many different characters that come together. It's very beautiful. Sailor Moon was created in the early 90s, and it had representation of the LGBTQ community, and it was such a big thing that when it came to America, it was very censored, and that it didn't show the true nature of these characters. For example, lesbian couple Uranus and Neptune were described as cousins in the American version, which wasn't great. And good thing I watched the Chinese version, which was not filtered, and it was such a beautiful romance, and it's very touching. Their sacrifice for each other and everything else. Uranus and Neptune is widely known as a representation of LGBTQ, but I don't know how many of you know that Zoisite and Malachite is a gay couple that I was really shocked about, because I thought Zoisite was a woman, which was representation in America, but turns out she's a guy, she's a male. And that is a really beautiful gay relationship that was very censored in North America. And once I found out a few years ago when I was watching it in Chinese, then I watched it in English, that I realized, hey, that's a male's voice. And so I really want to tell you that there's not just these two characters or these two couples that represent the LGBTQ community, but there's so many more representation in this series. I love this series so much, and remember, this was done in the early 90s. So you imagine this is very profound, and I really hope you watch it. It's amazing. The last point I want to tell you is actually the amount of friendship and acceptance this whole series has. You know, Sailor Moon doesn't defeat her enemies by herself. She does it with the whole team, with all of the scouts around her. And from the fighting of Beryl to like the last scene, she was there with everyone. And I just want to tell you, like, please do consider watching this series. It is definitely my favorite, and it's a really beautiful series, honestly. I'm also building a community on Facebook dedicated to women 5 foot and under to talk about their challenges, their struggles, and their wins in life. And if you want to join that group, the link is below the description here. You can also find me on Instagram at MissPetiteRu. Check out my next video next Wednesday. And here are 2 other videos that I made just for Petites 5 foot and under. If you like this video, click the like button and subscribe to my channel if this really resonates with you. Happy Halloween, guys! See you next time. Bye!